Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is another scrubby that I found, or well, not scrubby that I found, but a scrubby that I designed using Lion Brand's Stitch Soak Scrub, 100% nylon. This stuff is pretty good. The tool that I had bought in my previous scrubby tutorials can't hold a candle to this stuff. Holy cow. These are, I mean, if you can listen, well, I'm trying to give you an idea of how strong this, I don't want to say yarn, but I mean this nylon is that we're using. It makes a dang good scrubby. You are going to sell a lot of these if, you know, you go to a market or anything selling them. But so what I use is a Stitch Soak Scrub, 100% nylon. It's 1.4 ounces, 40 grams, 92 yards or 84 meters, 100% nylon. It's considered a 4-weight, and the color I used is, I don't know how you pronounce that. How about we say NyQuil Nighttime Color? That's what it's the color of. And then the orange I used is Autumn Maple, and the pink is Cabaret. Now, to make these, I held 2 strands together. So we're using 2 strands of each color at one time, just like this. So you're going to need to get 2 skeins of whichever color you want to get. And you're going to get 2 or 3 of these scrubbies from one of your skeins, obviously held together, right? You got it. Okay. Now you can definitely pair this with a cotton. I did not. Long story short, my cotton is in a tote in the bottom of a nightmare closet that I haven't had time to get to right now. So I did not do that. But that would be, I'd say that'd be probably a lot easier than what we're going to be doing today. And you can also work this with 1 strand and then go down to a 4mm hook. And it wouldn't be as sturdy as these are, but it would still get the job done. I mean, this stuff is awesome to scrub with. Definitely would not use this on your body. I'm trying to say face or body. That would hurt. Let's see, what else? Oh, one last thing I want to talk about before we get started is this will hurt your finger. It digs into your finger. Look, can you see the red line in my finger right there? And it stings. I've tried putting a Band-Aid on there while I'm doing it, but it slides off the Band-Aid. So I'm gonna classify this tutorial as not for the faint of heart. It will hurt your finger. Using the 1 strand, it won't hurt, and then using that cotton and this together won't hurt either. But 2 together, it hurts your finger. But you're gonna get an awesome scrubby when you're done. Now the stripe one, I'm not too fond of. I just prefer the solids. But anyway, so get your 2 skeins, 2 strands together. You guys know what I mean. So we're using a 5mm hook with the 2 strands. If you use cotton and a strand of this, I'd go ahead and stick with that 5mm. And then, but like I said, if you're just using 1 strand, just use the 4mm. And then get you a pair of scissors, and then get you a needle to weave in your ends. And just, you know, if you feel like it would help, go ahead and get a stitch marker to help you. You know, you can mark your first stitch so you don't get lost, because it is a bit of a bear, you know, trying to see your stitches working with this. But if you get underneath a bright light, it'll help a lot. All right, so get your 2 skeins of the color you're going to use, 5mm hook and or 4. Get you a needle, scissors, and let's get started. All right, so to get started, we're going to get a slip knot on our hook using both my strands. And of course, like always, make sure you have plenty of tail to weave in. get my slip knot. All right, we are going to start with chaining 6. 1, I'm going to hold on to that first chain. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now come down to that first chain and just wiggle your hook through there and slip stitch and chain 1. So here is the ring we're going to work into. So I'm going to hold my fingers in there and then pull this tail tight, and you can see that chain is all stretched out. I'm just going to pull that tight to tighten down that chain. And now working over my tail, we're going to work 12 double crochet into our ring. Right in there. 1, 2, and a little piece of advice that really helps with working with this, I don't even know if you'd call it yarn, working with this, I'm just going to say yarn, I don't know what else to call it, is to really accentuate your movement. So normally when I would crochet, so we have 1, 2, when I would normally crochet, I would just go boop, boop, you know, and just go like that, right? Well, you can tell I missed a strand. So if you really accentuate your movements, really grab that, pull up, and then, you know, we're going to yarn over, and then just, like normally you just pull through right like that, right? But if you just accentuate that, that curve, it goes right through. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. See what I mean? How it just slides right through there. 6. 'That didn't. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. One more in there for 12. All right, now I'm just going to take this tail and I'm going to pull it tight. And I didn't fully close it up, but when we weave that the tails in right here in the center, we're going to close that up more. All right, so now we're going to find our first double, which I can see it right here laying on the side. And I'm just going to count to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I'm going to slip stitch right in there. Make sure you got both your strands. And now we're going to double crochet increase into each double all the way around. So we're going from 12 to 24. So we're going to chain 1 and, oops, I missed one. We're going to work the increase is 2 doubles into each double crochet. So when I say increase, I just mean 2 doubles into 1 stitch. So chain 1 and 2 doubles right back, into that same double crochet that we just slip stitched into. And remember, really accentuate that hook and pull movement, and it goes right through. 1, 2, 3. Oop, pulled it right off my hook when I went to look. So that was 3. 4. Ooh, I did not go into that right. That felt funny. There. Looking at this color, the only way I'd be able to explain the color would to compare it to NyQuil, the nighttime. It's like that color, that odd black green color. Okay, where am I? There. guess I didn't have to leave it on here so you guys don't have to watch me do this, but I'm going to get through this real quick. Oop. Ah, that was a half double, not a double. I've got 2 left. And you can see I am losing one of the strands occasionally. It's not a huge deal. Just keep going with it and catch it on your next yarn over or your next loop. Okay, so that was round 2. I'm going to slip, and mine, it is going to bow a little bit, but don't worry about that. It's going to come out of it. So I'm going to slip stitch to my first, which I can see right here is that chain 1, and right there is the first. So I'm going to slip stitch into there, chain 1. I got a strand. Oh, it's all right. I'm just going to work through it. All right, so into that same double that we just slip stitched into, we're going to work an increase. So once again, that's 2 doubles into 1. And then 1 double into the next. Increase into the next. One double into the next. And that's what you're going to repeat around. Increase 1, increase 1, all the way around, and I'll meet you when you get back to the, or when I get back to where we started, okay? Get some more slack. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've repeated that around. I have my very last double to work into, and that one is going to get my lone double crochet right in there. And honestly, if the stitch count isn't 100% necessary, so if you're not ending on a single double crochet, well, a lone double crochet, don't worry about it. It's not a huge deal. It's not going to hurt a thing. All right, so that was round 1, 2, 3. So round 4, we're going to repeat the exact same thing. Slip stitch, chain 1, and go right back into that double that we slip stitched into with a double crochet increase. So 2 doubles into that first. There we go. Double into the next. Increase into the next. Double into the next. I'm struggling because I don't have enough slack and I keep sliding right off my hook. Okay. Where was I? Increase. Increase 1. Increase into the next. There we go. Double into the next. Increase into the next. Let's see. Increase 1. Increase 1. All right, so go ahead and just repeat that around, and I will meet you when we get back to the beginning. All right, so I have repeated that. I have my last double crochet left, and that's just going to get my lone double. So I have increase, and then the very last one is the lone double crochet. If you guys can hear that weird humming in the background, I have a video rendering on my computer. Sometimes it gets quite loud humming like that. All right, so now I'm going to slip stitch to that very first double crochet right there. Slip stitch and chain 1. And I'm going to pull up a loop and go ahead and weave in this center tail. I'm just going to put both strands on my needle. Just like that. And now I can see that that is where my strands are coming out, so it's already made a full revolution. So I'm going to go ahead and take it back around this way again. Pull tight. I'm going to go a little bit farther. Pull tight. Now I'm just going to skip a few little strands coming back the opposite direction. And there we go. I'm going to cut that. Sometimes whenever you go to pull it off the needle, it does this. So you just got to cut it off the needle. I don't know what happens there, but there. All right. Cut. All right, so round 5. You can see it's still a little bowed, but that's not gonna. Oh, geez, I'm sorry. That is not gonna hurt anything. All right, so now I'm gonna find my loops here. Get that back down. All right, so for round 5, I've already got my chain 1. We are going to work 1 back loop, double crochet all the way around. So that's what gives us the turn. The turn, you know, to start on the bottom. See that ridge right there? That's the loop that we're not going to work into. That's actually the front loop, and we're going to work into the back, and that's what makes it, or what gives it that turn, so we can start closing it up. Okay, so slide that over, and I can see the top of the double crochet that I slip stitched into right here. So I'm going to go right into that back loop only and work a double, and then just back loop, double crochet into all of those doubles. See that ridge right there? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work all these back loops, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have worked that all the way around. Got to my last double, so I'm going to work that back loop and slip stitch to my first. I can see it right there. Slip stitch and chain 1. So when you look at it, you can see it's all kind of wonky, but if you just if you make it lay the way it needs to, so make that turn, so it makes that like almost like we're going to work a bowl kind of. You may need to get angry with it and give it the what for. Pull it around and it'll do what it needs to. All right, so that is our round 5. Get back on my hook. So for round 6, we're going to start our decreases. Oh, hold on. Everything went wonky. Get in here. All right, now I'm back on track. All right, so I've already got my chain 1, and now what we're going to do is work a double crochet decrease over the double crochet we slip stitched into and the next one. So to work your decrease, you yarn over. Let me move this. There you go. Go right back into where we slip stitched. Pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over, go to the next double, pull up a loop. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and now I've got 4 loops still. No, I've got 3. This is 1 loop with 2 strands. 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3, and that's your double crochet decrease. And then you're going to double into that next double. Decrease over the next 2. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next double, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then double into that next. All right, I'm going to show you that one more time. Yarn over, go into the next double, pull up a loop. We got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into that next double, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3, double crochet into the next double. I missed a strand. Just like that. Okay, so decrease, double, all the way around, and I'll meet you when we get back to the beginning, when I get back to this last stitch. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have repeated that around, and in my pattern when I designed this, I actually had 1 double crochet left to end with a double, but I have 2 left right now, so I messed up somewhere in here, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and work another decrease, even though my last stitch, the last stitch I worked was a decrease. I'm just going to work another decrease. No big deal, doesn't matter. If you have 1 stitch left, then just work a double. If you have, whatever you have, just either work 1 double or a decrease. All right, so that is round 6, and you can see it's starting to close up. So what we're going to do now is repeat round 6 again. So I'm going to slip stitch to that first decrease. So right there you can see that little bitty chain 1, and right there's the top of that decrease. So I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that decrease, chain 1, and I'm going to decrease over the first 2, so the same one I just slip stitched into and that very next one right there. Come on now, there. I missed a strand, dang it. Start that over, yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, now pull through all 3. There's my first decrease, and now I'm just going to double into the next, decrease over the next 2. All right, and just repeat that around again, and I'll meet you when we get back to, or not back to, but get to the end. It's looking pretty. I like this color. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I made it around. I actually have 2 stitches left this round, so I'm just going to decrease over the last 2. If you just have 1 stitch left, then just work a double into the last. Not going to hurt a thing. 1 more loop, get through there. Okay. Now I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that first decrease. If your finger's hurting, mine too. We're just about done, guys. All right, so that was round 6, or no, that was round 7. Yeah. So now we are going to decrease all the way around. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Round 8. Chain 1. And now decrease over the very first one, the one we just slip stitched into, and the next. And then decrease all the way around. Decrease over the next two. Get in there. Okay, so go ahead and repeat that around. We're almost done. And I'll meet you when I get back to the beginning. Okay, so I have made it around, and I actually have 3 stitches left, which again is not a problem. I'm going to show you guys what to work if you guys have 3 left. If you only have 2, then go ahead and you know, work your normal decrease. If you have 1 stitch left, then just double crochet into that. But if you have 3 left, we're going to work a 3 double crochet decrease instead of just 2. So I'm going to go into the front, or the first, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through all the loops left. And then I'm going to slip stitch to my first decrease. Come on. Oh, dang it, now I gotta do that last one again. It gets a little tougher the closer to the end we get. Alright, working this last decrease over my last 3. Yarn over, pull through all, slip stitch to the first. There, easy peasy that time. Alright, so now I'm going to pull up a loop and I'm going to show you what it's looking like. So it's got that little bitty hole right there. So what we're going to do for this very last round, we're going to work half double crochet decreases. And we're not going to go all the way around, only because there's so few stitches left and such a little space. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt to work a few. So I'm going to get back on my hook. Ooh, make sure I got both strands. I'm going to chain 1. And for the half double crochet decrease, all we do is yarn over, go into the very first stitch that we slip stitched into, pull up a loop, but don't yarn over and pull through anymore. Just that's the first part of the half double crochet decrease. And now to the second part, we yarn over, go to the next stitch, pull up a loop, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook, give or take, and then yarn over and pull through all of them. And that's the half decrease, half double crochet decrease. And the reason we're doing the half is because, like I said, that hole is so little, and using the where am I at? Using the double crochet decreases adds a tad bit more of a height that we do not have. So I'm going to stop. I just worked 3 of them. So I'm going to stop. And you see how little that hole is right there? I'm just going to go ahead and call it good. You don't have to either. If you want to go ahead and continue around, go ahead. And I'm going to slip stitch to the next, chain 1, pull up a loop. I'm going to pull up a longer tail so I can use that to weave that hole closed. And cut. Alright. So you can see how little that hole is. Give this a bit of a tug to make it nice and pretty in a circle. And what I'm going to do is take these tails and I'm going to get them on my needle. And then I'm going to go in and out these last few stitches. On camera, Alana, on camera. I'm going to come out. Just give it a little bit of a tug and it's going to close that hole up. So I'm going to go through here, go through here, one more area, come back out, There, now it closed it up. Just like that. So I also want mine to stay a tad bit more on the flatter side. So whenever I'm going to weave this end in, I'm going to go through both layers and come out this side. And then I'm going to go through some of the strands and then go back out the other side. So basically all it did is just tighten down on both these ends, or both these sides. Where's my other end at? There it went. All right. Now I'm going to go back in there and come out the side somewhere. Give it a little bit of a tug and snip it off, and then it hides inside. And there is your little scrubby. And this, ooh, that took the, holy cow. That kind of took the color off my vinyl. Don't do that. But yeah, you have a cute little scrub pad. And these things are crazy strong. Tough, tough, tough. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you guys make all sorts of these scrubby pads and sell them and make millions of dollars. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe, share this video, and leave me a comment in the comment section. I got lost in my words. I'm sorry. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.